And welcome live at Schellenberger Field on the campus of University of Lynchburg. Tonight we've got an ODAC showdown for ODAC field hockey, and it is Bridgewater College versus the University of Lynchburg. I'm Joe Hutzler, narrating your journey tonight here from the University of Lynchburg. And we've got ourselves a pretty good way to finish out a very successful week on campus with two championships, two conference titles coming the way of our winter sports, with Lynchburg's women's swimming winning on Sunday night. And then that's followed up by last night, Lynchburg women's basketball hoisting the trophy for the second time in program history. So looking forward to finishing the week under the lights of Schellenberger Field and enjoying everything that this has to offer on a beautiful evening. 68 degrees, going to get down to like 50 tonight. It's going to feel really, really good. Two teams that are 1-0 on the year. Lynchburg winning last week 3-1 over Shenandoah. Bridgewater defeating Sweetbriar in their their season opener. Do we have it? For it. There's a look at Allison Kenyon. She coaches for Bridgewater, not Randolph-Macon. Sorry about that. Earned all 4 ODAC selections in each of the last 3 seasons. Been there for a while, but not as long as the lady next to her. Coach Enza Steele, 42nd season with Lynchburg, over 600 wins, 20 ODAC championships, and since 2000, she has 22 wins over Bridgewater and just 1 loss, which came in the ODAC tournament. We'll talk about that shortly, I'm sure. All right, the teams have been announced. The starters are trotting out to take the field and look for a victory tonight. Bridgewater, it would be a momentous one if they could pull it off. Lynchburg trying to just go business as usual. And it will be a little bit tougher as 3 of their players are out this evening due to COVID-19 protocol. We will not see Emily Dudley, Brittany Clayball this evening. We will see Kessa Romero putting a ball inside the scoring area first. We're also not going to see Alexis Brown. So a couple all ODAC selections and a goal scorer from last week missing from Lynchburg's roster. A very deep roster, especially compared to Bridgewater. Only 12 players on the roster for the Eagles. And right away, Lynchburg mounting some pressure offensively with Jackie Laro leading the charge. The ball. Emma Strauss will take this penalty corner for the Hornets. Rolls back to Laro, dribbles to the left, looking for a pass, maybe off the foot of an Eagle, and she does that to earn another penalty corner. Lynchburg was very successful against Shenandoah in that 3-1 victory last Friday night. When it came to corners, had a lot to begin with. I mean, 7 total in the game. And all 3 goals coming off of penalty corners. Looking for the first goal tonight. A little bit of hesitation on the shot. And it goes back to Bridgewater. That was Brooke Highland looking for her first career goal as a Hornet in game number 2 of her freshman campaign. And here we go again. Not even 2 minutes gone by, and Lynchburg with some good chances to hop on the board first. They've won the last 4 meetings between these two, and they've done it by a combined score of 13-3. So goals aplenty for the home team in this rivalry. Laro able to find Strauss. She'll rip one inside, looking for a deflection. It goes across the goal mouth. Emily Giannis getting a piece of it, but unfortunately not going near the keeper. We haven't talked about Brooke Ham yet, but expect to see her get some more work throughout this contest. Good work by Erin Boatwright through the midfield. She got some playing time last week, but talking to a couple coaches this week, they know that she's going to have to be a big, major impact force in the midfield with Alexis Brown being out. And here's another corner. Already 4 for Lynchburg in the first 2.5 minutes. 7 all of last week. A rare week between games for this team, and the ODAC field hockey is scheduled to play Tuesdays and Fridays in this crazy spring semester. Input comes from Strauss. Highland has that deflect off the Eagles. No, they say it off Lynchburg, so a defensive hit for Bridgewater. It's Kelsey Hicks starting things off. Here she is again. Senior from Princess Anne, Maryland. Taken away from Caroline Quigley. And a long shot that hits the board. Lynchburg up first. Emma Strauss collecting her first goal of the season from long distance. Emma Strauss now with a goal to add to her 2 assists on the year. Here's Romero. Pushing forward to Maggie Chapese. Good ball inside. Highland is there. Rips one, looking for Giannis on the deflection. Ham steps in front. And we're going to go back to the corner spot. Strauss sends it up top to Laro. Laro plays it for Highland. She lets it go through, so it's Strauss and deflected in. Erin Boatwright, her first career goal as a Hornet. Check it out one more time. Emma Strauss wisely sending it low, and look at that. Erin Boatwright. I think Maggie Chapese was just as excited, if not more, than Boatwright was to be there and witness that so close. Big moment for a freshman who has seen her sister, Alex, play for this team over the past few years and be a part of some success winning championships in 2018 and 2019, going to the Elite Eight. And once again, Lynchburg heavy on the pressure. It's going to be a long night for Bridgewater defensively. They're going to be on their heels, and unfortunately they won't have any depth to go to. Take a peek at the top of your screen. That's Lynchburg's bench. When it comes back to the other half of the field, there's Bridgewater's. 2 coaches and a backup keeper. That's it. So as this game progresses, stamina is going to become an issue for the Eagles as well, as Laro looking for the deflection from Giannis, just missed on what was a good pass. Rebound, Brooke Highland. How about 2 freshmen getting their first career goals here in the first quarter? Simply phenomenal. Check it out here again. Brooke Highland, the freshman from Glen Gardner, New Jersey, collecting her first goal as a Hornet. She's used to playing big-time hockey. All-conference, first-team all-division in her high school playing days. She also was a 3-sport athlete in high school, which is always commendable. Played lacrosse and golf. I'm sure Coach Ververka of Lynchburg Women's Golf would be interested to know if next spring she's available. Emma Strauss trotting over for yet another penalty corner. This is number 6 of the quarter. Lynchburg having 7 in the last game total. Giannis. Long drive, and it skips wide. And I'll bring it back to the 16. Start there was deflected by Bridgewater. So Lynchburg will take possession. It's Highland pushing it through. Ham steps on top of it, trying to punt it away out of harm's way. And in the end, it's corner number 7. Strauss as it goes all the way out to Green. Green chips it inside. It's deflected in. And Emily Giannis gets in on the goal party. Man, this room is filling up fast. Going to have to move over to the other part of the house here soon. Look at it one more time. Well, we'll try it again. So Green, just like she did last week, we'll get to it. There's still plenty of time. But Green, the long hit inside. And Emily Giannis becoming 4th different goal scorer for Lynchburg as Bridgewater puts the ball in their offensive third for the first time in the first 15 minutes. I just want to double check before I said anything. That is Giannis's first career goal. So 3 Hornets in the first quarter with their first career goal tonight. Congratulations to them. I'm sure there will be more to come throughout 2021, both here in the spring and in the fall, when we hope to be back to a more traditional schedule. This one scoots through. Berg in every way to this point, 7 total shots. Bridgewater with none yet. Ham is credited with a goal, a save on 5 shots on goal from Lynchburg. Here's Strauss. In and around. And played up high by Romero. So it's going to go back to the Eagles. Only for a moment. Laro again getting involved, creating chances, has it stolen away, and it's going to be off the foot of Lynchburg, so a defensive hit for Bridgewater. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by the people walking in front of our little temporary booth, looking at me like, whoa, there's somebody there. We got to move, had to move it back today off the track because of a home track meet tomorrow for Lynchburg Track and Field. It'll start bright and early at 9 a.m. here on LHSN with Ham with a big stop, but a rebound put back is through. Check it out again, loose just out away from the goalie's reach. We continue to get first-time goal scorers for the season. Sydney Metz getting in as the bouncer pulls back the rope, lets her into the goal party. 5 different goal scorers for Lynchburg. And a dominating performance in the first 10 minutes of play. Good hit, just a little bit off the mark. Pass was intended for Emmeline Mejia. Now the Eagles, best chance of the first quarter right now, coming your way, and it's blocked off the foot of Shockley, so the Eagles will now have a penalty corner of their own. Really good run by the lady on your screen. That's Courtney Cook, senior from North Chesterfield, Virginia.
No, yeah, you're fine.
First corner of the night for the Eagles, looking for their first shot of the evening as well. Caroline Quigley will start things. Opportunity here for Cook. Didn't get all she wanted on that. It squeaks by, and the Eagles are on the board. First time tonight they've been in a really good offensive position, and they make it count. Nix makes the initial stop, and then that chip gets past Shockley. And we'll go back and see later on, maybe during the break, who specifically hit it. They didn't even make the announcement on PA as to who it actually was. I couldn't see the number, so apologies for that. But we'll come back and give that lady her due as Lynchburg with a great counter. 2 shots for Metz that are rejected by Ham. And Lynchburg will bring it back. Start from there, 2:52 to go on a rolling clock. Cook trying to get away from Chapese. Always a tall task. In the end, it's Romero scooping up the loose ball. 2:10 remaining in the first quarter. Good pass ahead. Metz sends it inside. Ham not able to get it cleanly away from Highland, so there's another chance. Now Ham knocks it down with a body. And it's going to be Bridgewater with a defensive hit, I think. No, actually, Lynchburg will take it from that blue line on the turf with 60 seconds to play in the first quarter. Faith Seary out there for the Hornets now, getting her first action after transferring in to the team after winter break. Number 11 in black on the field. 30 seconds to go. Bridgewater looking to mount some pressure again. One good chance, one good goal. Redmond hounding on the defensive end. Too strong of a touch. And Alex Redmond looking to chase it back down. And that's going to do it for the first quarter of play. 15 minutes in the books. 5-1 Lynchburg. And the Eagles hanging around, playing well. We'll be right back with the second quarter. You're watching ODAC field hockey action on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
Everyone has a story. A triumph, a time they fell short, a gift, a light all their own. every story has a beginning. For us, our stories began long before we got here, at the moment we discovered we had something to share with the world. But no matter where we've been, our journeys weave together at the University of Lynchburg. Since 1903, we've grown from a handful of students to a diverse, dynamic community of students.
And welcome back to Schellenberger Field on the campus of University of Lynchburg. It's a 5-1 lead after first quarter of play with Lynchburg on top. And want to go back and showcase a Bridgewater goal. It's worth the wait. First good chance that Bridgewater's had. You see Nix make the initial stop, and I think it went off a Lynchburg player when it rebounded. So I'm giving Courtney Cook the goal as the last Eagle to touch it. I really believe it went off of Redmond's stick. That's why it bounced so hard from the midsection of the player. Must have went off her stick and bounced back and was too awkward, too much like of a change-up for Hayden Shockley to stop it. And so Bridgewater 1 for 1. One shot, one goal. Lynchburg, though, outpacing them, outshooting them, and outscoring them. 9 total shots, 5 goals for the Hornets as they look for their 5th straight victory versus the Eagles. Now, these two teams have been playing against one another, these two programs, I should say, not these specific teams, since 1977. As far back as the archives go for Lynchburg, field hockey started 2 seasons before Enza Steele came to then Lynchburg College. So 77 and 78, and then Enza Steele came in 79 and changed everything. They were 11, 9, and 1 that year. The previous 2 years, the combined record was 9, 18, and 3. So an immediate impact in the positive side for Coach Steele and this program. And as far as figuring out the overall record of this series since then, that was a bit tougher to find. So we do know since 2000, Lynchburg leads at 22-1 and have never lost at home since the turn of the century. Here is another penalty corner, first one of the quarter, and the 9th one of the game for Lynchburg. Jackie Laro still looking for goal number 1 on the year. That one's rejected back to her. Now she'll create space again and shoot just wide. Lifting that, Meredith Rankin. Once again, though, it's Lynchburg forcing our attention to the left side of the field. Whistle gives it back to Bridgewater. Laro scoops it up, has plenty of options, sends it outside to Chapese. She'll chip it inside off the stick of Ham. And it rolls across the line. Lynchburg will take it back at the 16. Erin Boatwright will start things off after a great first quarter for her, scoring her first career goal in her freshman season. Romero taking on 2 defenders and throwing it off the foot of an Eagle. Corner number 10 already in this one. Couple of them resulting in goals. As we remind you to follow us on social media at Lynchburg Sports. Admittedly, Twitter is down right now, so maybe don't try to do that at the moment, but we're working through it. But we're also at Lynchburg Sports on Instagram and Facebook. That one got through the legs of Ham, and it's going to be Bridgewater possession dangerous play as Ham missed with that left foot trying to stop it in its tracks. Long hit off the foot of Laro. Picked up by Strauss and given to a spot where Redmond chases it down. The two captains connecting. And it's Redmond looking for Giannis. It's deflected by Rankin, and Lynchburg will hold on to possession. Good contact made by Redmond. Laro takes it, shoots it, never got through. Good blocking tackle by the Eagles. I believe that was Allison Thompson on the stop. And then Lynchburg's Hayden Shockley responds with a nice tackle of her own. Things a bit more even to start the second quarter compared to the start of the game. Lynchburg at this point in the first quarter had already scored 3 goals. And looks like they're going to go back to a set piece corner play. As Timmy Trumpet plays on the loudspeaker. Some rave music's in order for a rave of a week here on campus. It has been crazy from start to finish. And we're glad we can spend it under the lights with great weather. Watching Lynchburg field hockey try to go 2-0 on the season. 2-0 in conference play as that one squeaks through and Strauss cannot connect. Strauss with a takeaway. Has the opening goal for Lynchburg. Her first of the year. Aaron Boatwright with 1 goal as well. Nice jab by Romero, but they're going to say that was illegal. Romero plays it back for Shockley here to start things on the touch line. Good backhanded pass from Highland. Laro taken down, Ham way out of her net. But it looks like Rankin's going to use the speed to chase it down and keep it away from being a chance. Good bend don't break moment for the Eagles. Bridgewater with a shocker back in 2015, eliminating Lynchburg in the semifinals of the ODAC tournament. Their only win against Lynchburg since 2000. As Laro looks for goal number 1, and she'll have to wait for it here on the corner. It's pretty incredible to say, for someone who led the team in points a season ago with 21 goals and 13 assists. Jackie Laro still looking for the first goal of 2021. Back to Green. This worked already tonight, and it is chipped up high and wide from Boatwright. Had a good look at it, and the stick face was just a bit off target, and so the ball sailed away from the net. That led to a goal last week. Now, if you go back and watch it, Probably shouldn't have been a goal, probably should have been a corner, as that long hit from Green went off a Shenandoah player's foot. But they counted it as a rebound off her foot and in, so Green got the goal, at least on the stats. It's been disputed all week, and finally we have some games to talk about so we can forget about what that situation was a week ago. And since we're talking about that last week, it's worth admitting as well that even the first goal that went to Brittany Clayball probably shouldn't have counted. It looked like on replay it went off her foot before it bounced across the line. So we may have had a 1-1 game. Well, 1-0 game, because Shenandoah also shouldn't have been allowed to take a second penalty stroke. So it's a bit of a rough start to the season for the officials and some of the players who haven't played at that juncture, had not played or been a part of a contest in any way in over 400 days. So certainly some rust to shake off for everyone. We're going to have to move our mic at halftime. Madeline Stewart standing in front of it right now, making it go in and out. Former field hockey player who's working for the events crew today. Shagging balls as they go off the field. And still finding a way to support her former teammates. Still friends. And those last a lifetime. Also, Jack Waters is out there. I'm going to have to get on him. Maddie's getting a lot more balls than he is. And he's the athletic director's son, so step it up, Jack. Chapese sends it inside. Good dribbling by Kelsey Hicks. But in the end, it's another trip to the penalty corner spot. This is number 11 for Lynchburg. And we're going to go to the other side. Whoa, changing it up. Won't matter much. Emma Strauss still a fantastic inserter. Accurate start. Giannis, long hit. Punted right back by Ham. And out of play. Like she had rubber inside those pads. Long hit coming from Boatwright. Picked up by Romero on the other side of the field. Pass was partially blocked. Strauss finds a way to dribble it around the defender. And now will twist the wrist and send it inside. It's going to come back to Bridgewater with 5.5 to go in the second quarter. Lynchburg on top 5-1 and out shooting Bridgewater 13-1. Brooke Ham has 4 saves on 9 shots faced. Laurel Nix has been credited with 1 save on 2 shots faced. And a corner well before Romero even sent that ball in. Usually it's because a ball goes off an illegal part of the stick or a foot. Something happened there away from the ball. It gives Lynchburg penalty corner number 12. Worth noting, it was 5-1 after the first quarter, so things have cooled off here for both teams. Bridgewater's defense has stepped up. Lynchburg's offense not able to get second chances on long touches, even on these corners, as Green will rip one again. This time it's deflected That one's going to hurt later. It might hurt now. That was Allison Thompson who stepped in front of it. Now here she is sending it long, pass ahead. Bridgewater's offense. Haven't seen much of them, haven't talked about them a lot, but there's a good chance coming here. Nix with the initial stop and then a save from the post, kicks it away. Karen Moyer that close to a goal and making it 5-2 would be Moyer's second. Instead, it remains 5-1, and Nix can go back and tap that left post saying, thanks a lot, appreciate it. Ham slides out, player goes down. That's going to be a corner for the Hornets. Everyone gets up all right. Let's go back and take a look at that missed chance for the Eagles. Here's Moyer. Good dribble. Getting around Redmond. Bang, right there off that post. Whew, that close. Meanwhile, Lynchburg trying to respond. On the corner, Strauss off the side of the net. And defensive hit for Bridgewater. Taylor Breeden of Lynchburg Volleyball just walked by. Congratulations to the volleyball team. They're now back on campus after a 2-0 day in Harrisonburg, Virginia, defeating Eastern Mennonite 3-1 and defeating Roanoke in 5 sets 3-2. So they are unbeaten on the year, 3-0 overall, 2-0 in conference play. We will have them here on LHSN next Thursday against the Cougars of Averett University, who will eventually be an ODAC opponent starting in the 2021-2022 season, so this fall. The Cougars will be someone that counts toward an ODAC record as Lynchburg tries to end the scoreless drought here of the second quarter. And there'll be a penalty corner here for the Hornets. Makes sense to bring Averett in. Obviously, the ODAC looking to replace Emory and Henry, who is leaving for Division II on the football side, trying to replace that school for that reason. But at least here at Lynchburg, we play Averett in every sport at some point. So you're already playing them, make them a part of the conference, and make it count even more when it comes to your overall record. Taylor Green. And that one being blown dead before it got to Ham. 2:40 remaining in the second quarter before we step aside for halftime. Right now we've got a good chunk of goals and saves being made to show you as far as first half highlights. So if you missed anything, don't worry. We'll take care of you during the break. 5 different goal scorers for Lynchburg. Just 2 chances for the Eagles, but both have been really good, and one was able to get around Laurel Nix. Two more minutes to make a push if you're both of these teams. A chance to send some momentum your way going into the halftime period. A short halftime period, only 10 minutes, just like lacrosse. It's one of the things that's different about this sport, even soccer. 10 minutes is so fast. It's hard to really lose any momentum. So if you can build some going into it, should be able to come back out feeling confident and continuing to execute at the high level that you finished the first half with. Laro gets to an open spot, and then her hit is Deflected wide by Rankin. Good ball for Strauss. And Strauss sends a low worm burner that's deflected wide left. And a long hit coming for the Hornets. 45 seconds remaining in the first half. Strauss. Picked up by Boatwright. Goes low and through. Who touched it last? I think it was Laro. I think that's goal number 1 for Jackie Laro. See if we can find it in the replay. Gonna have to play it slow, fellas. Just to be sure. So Boatwright's gonna pick it up. All right, and don't know. Do not know. Might stay Boatwright's. Could not tell. We'll give it another look during the halftime break and try to help out those scoring the game as well. Giannis was inside. I beg your pardon, it wasn't Giannis, it was 14. Miss Jones was in there. Taylor Jones, that is. I don't think it touched her stick, but we'll give it another look-see and figure it out. Meanwhile, Giannis chips one in, and that is how we end the first half. A 5-1 game turns into a 6-1 contest after one half of play. Lynchburg on top, 6-1 on LHSN.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. "100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it."
John Eckles joined the Lynchburg College community in 1986 as Director of Housing. As his famous beard grew, so too did his stature with the students he served on a daily basis. He seemed to be everywhere and rapidly became an integral part of campus life. He was asked to serve temporarily as Dean of Students in 1993 and soon earned the position on a permanent basis. In 2007, he became Vice President for Student Development, a position he held until his retirement in 2016. Simply put, John Eckles set the standard for student affairs professionals. He led the growth of Hornet Pride throughout the last 2 decades of his service through his direct and constant interaction with students, through his colorful sense of humor, through his visibility on campus, through the Red Chairs, the Red Chair blogs, and all the colorful emails to students. He created the annual Leadership Awards ceremony. In addition, John contributed his sense of humor, his calm demeanor, and his common sense approach to the leadership of the college at the highest levels of administration. He even donned a hard hat and work boots to supervise the construction of the Drysdale Student Center. His summer talks to new students, although wrapped in humor, were serious as he spoke his mantra, "Involvement is not an option, it is an expectation." He lived that ideal through his own involvement in student life, as the head cheerleader at Hornet athletic contests, and as a friendly and approachable face for generations of students. His legacy is a treasure for the students whose lives he impacted and a challenge for the entire university community to emulate.
My name is Marlene Castaños. I graduated in 2009. I was a communication major. I am a digital producer now for the Martin Agency. So we have brought up amazing clients from Geico to Land O'Lakes to Oreo. So we get to create amazing content, all those funny Geico commercials that you see. And as a digital producer, I get to create amazing content for digital. I was very highly involved here. I was president of my class while I was here. I was president of the Hispanic Society. I joined a sorority when I was here. I had like 2 jobs. So having a sense of managing my time, it kind of pushed me to be better at my job right now. Just knowing that you had someone on your corner was really important, and they really took the time to really invest in their students. I felt like I had a cheerleading squad behind me at every single point. They were the ones that encouraged me to look for those opportunities, to push myself to be better. So it's definitely truly an amazing place. I brag about this place all the time. So if anyone gets lucky enough to be part of this community, it's life-changing.
Welcome back to Schellenberger Field. Under the lights on this Friday night, Lynchburg field hockey leads Bridgewater 6-1 at halftime. Let's take a look at some first half numbers to illustrate more of what's happened. And as you might expect with that score, Lynchburg is dominating in every area, especially penalty corners. Way too many chances for Lynchburg to score on those set pieces with more people in the scoring area for Bridgewater. So hopefully defense can do a little bit better and give us a more balanced game in the second half. You'll have to come back and see if that is the case, of course, here on LHSN. When you do come back, we'll show you some highlights and get ready for the third quarter on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
Thomas Gibson Hobbs graduated from Virginia Christian College in 1904 as a member of its first graduating class. After earning a law degree from the University of Virginia, he settled in Lynchburg and began a highly successful career as an attorney. In January of 1915, he was invited to attend a meeting of the College Board of Trustees, during which the possibility of closing the college due to financial concerns was to be considered. Mr. Hobbs spoke eloquently of the need to fight for the college's existence, and the board decided to continue operating the institution. He was asked to serve on the board at that meeting and served as the chairman of the Board of Trustees from 1918 until his tragic death in 1942. Mr. Hobbs was a guiding light as the college changed its name to Lynchburg College and moved toward becoming an accredited liberal arts institution. His relationships with the economic power structure of the city played a critical role as the young college struggled financially through the depths of the Great Depression. His belief in Josephus Hopwood's vision of the college never wavered, as reflected in his message to the student body in the late 1930s. Lynchburg College, with continued wise leadership, is just on the threshold of development into an institution which will, in still larger measure, build sound leadership in church and school and state, a leadership which will look for its reward in the consciousness of service rendered and a task well done. Upon his death in 1942, the Board of Trustees unanimously adopted a resolution of appreciation which named Mr. Hobbs as, quote, the college's greatest leader, unquote.
My name is Jen Hyde. I graduated in 2018 and I got my major in philosophy, political science, and I minored in human services. And career-wise, right now I work at a residential treatment center for juveniles with sexually reactive behaviors. I would say the biggest advantage is definitely that it is a small campus. You know, you get to have that one-on-one with your professors. They're willing to help you out. They're going to get to know you more than just a student that they're teaching. You know, they really invest into your lives. Definitely use every resource that you can kind of get at Lynchburg. There's tons of mentors within the professors, the faculty, the staff here, your peers that are here. You have so many options that you can take. There's so many classes, you know, even if it's not within your major, if there's a class you're interested in, take it. Kind of explore your options because Lynchburg does have such a wide variety of different things that you can do. You know, be involved, become a well-rounded individual because Lynchburg sets up the support to where you can do that here.
My name is Brittany Coleman. I graduated in 2014 and I have a major in chemistry and a minor in secondary education, and I'm currently teaching chemistry and 7th grade science at a local combined school. Being able to have access to your professors pretty much anytime they're in their office is really helpful, especially in difficult science subjects. I love that I am able to teach a difficult subject to students who typically aren't going to perceive it as enjoyable. I'm able to present it in an interesting way because I was presented this information in an interesting way. It's nice for me to be able to mirror what it was that influenced me to be able to teach.
And we are back on Schellenberger Field here on LHSN. Joe Hutzler narrating our journey tonight together. It's a halftime lead of 6-1 for the Hornets, and before we get into the future, let's look back at the past. Some first half highlights coming your way right now, and you'll see a lot of Lynchburg shots and a couple goals. There's Emma Strauss. That was the opening goal of the night. Glad we could show that to you as we couldn't the first time. The lone goal for Bridgewater is going to go to Courtney Cook on that shot deflection rebound. Here's a chance missed for Bridgewater. Moyer with the drive. Look at the excellent dribble, working against a really good defender. And then Nix's best friend with the stop. Clangs off the post. And here's the last goal of the half. Erin Boatwright getting credited for her second goal of her young career, second goal of the night. Congratulations to her. And Lynchburg well out in front. 6-1 in control at this juncture of the contest as they try to start the season 2-0 before they take to the pitch on Tuesday here at Schellenberger Field, and they'll battle the Generals of Washington and Lee. 7 o'clock. That is always a good one. Those two programs always fighting for ODAC championships. Shenandoah has become one of the three in the past few years, but historically, it's the Generals and the Hornets when it comes down to the end of tournament play. So we look very much forward to Tuesday night, especially considering Lynchburg baseball has pushed their Tuesday game to an April 1st game. That is not an April Fool's joke. They did push it. So that means all we have that day is to get ready for a showdown between Washington and Lee and Lynchburg. We'll see if Bridgewater can keep the field tilted to the left as you see it, as we look at it. That's where Lynchburg spent most of the first half. Have to imagine, though, the right side of the field is going to get a lot of action based on what we saw. Laro inside, chipped wide, and Ham got a piece of it. In the end, it was off of Rankin, who was down on the pitch, and it's going to be a corner. We've heard that a lot tonight. We've heard this song a lot tonight. 15 corners before this one. And it's going to be Emma Strauss. Not too many changes in terms of starters and second line Hornets coming in. 3 starters missing. No Alexis Brown, Brittany Clayball, or Emily Dudley tonight due to COVID-19 protocols. So it's Jackie Laro and company working with their 16th penalty corner of the match. Laro keeping it herself and eventually earning another corner. The camera.
Corner for your Hornets, number 7, Emma Strauss.
Yeah. th corner for the Hornets. Strauss connecting with Laro again. Pushing it over through the legs of Highland. It's Strauss inside. Rebound is good. Emily Giannis with goal number 2 this evening. Well, maybe it's Chapezi. I think it's got to be Chapezi. The initial celebration between the two was one that made me believe maybe it was Giannis. She was close as well. Check it out. Chapezi got a piece, and Giannis does clean it up. Well, at least for Chapezi, that's 2 assists tonight. And if you couldn't tell, whether she scores or someone else does, she's still super excited. Rankin with a hard hit. Alex Redmond takes control. At midfield, it's Strauss. And then it's picked up by Romero on the run. Romero cuts back inside, looking for Chapezi along the end line. Chapezi with the pass through the middle, and a corner for the Hornets. Great chance.
Corner for your Hornets, number 7, Emma Strauss.
Romero with the shot wide. Ham with the split. Never got a piece of it. And it will be a defensive hit for the Eagles. Good steal here from Romero. Casa Romero, another one of those Hornets from a year ago, looking for her first goal, and there it is. Last season, Romero had 7 goals, 3 assists. There's number 1 in the G category for her sophomore season. And an absolute beaut from 22. Perfect dribble in the shooting area, backhand, bang, off the board. And Lynchburg on the board with goal number 8. Sydney Metz has checked back in for Lynchburg. And here's another penalty corner for the Hornets. Number 19 in the PC category. Once again, it's Emma Strauss trotting over. The senior out of Dillsburg, PA. Excellent all-around athlete for this team. Romero looking for a deflection. Came back out. Hicks got a piece of it. And the Eagles will take possession there. Courtney Cook, the lone goal scorer for the Eagles. Pass attempt intercepted by Shockley. And then chipped to the sideline. Met scooped it up there. Siri chasing it down. Good run out here for the Hornets. Pass ahead to Laro. She's looking for her first goal of the season, but it's deflected wide. Come on, man. Let me in the door. Everyone else is partying tonight. I'm usually hosting these goal parties. And that one goes wide off the outside of the goal. 5 minutes gone by here in the third quarter of play. Boom, speak it into existence. There it is. On your score bug. Now it says third. We're getting there. We just finished winter season. Now we get to come out and enjoy beautiful weather at Schellenberger Field. Looking forward to more victory bell ceremonies as well. A lot of great teams on this campus playing at the same time. Usually they're spread out throughout the year, but you think about women's soccer, you think about field hockey, men's soccer for that matter, as far as historic championships. You throw men's lacrosse in there. Softball has won 4 straight. Baseball has won 4 straight. Things are looking good as we get into the meat of March. Things looking very good for Lynchburg field hockey now. Strauss along the end line. Bridgewater doing all they can, and the whistle will help them out. I didn't want to bring it up earlier, the chance of jinxing it, but Lynchburg's up by 7, so it is worth mentioning that since February 24th, combining all of our teams on campus, here at home, their record is 26-1-1. So if you're an opposing team, this is not the place you want to travel to if you're looking for a win. Fantastic run through, steal, and shot. First time we've had a chance to talk about Sarah McCullum and the sophomore forcing herself onto the broadcast with a great push, nice pressure, and seamlessly taking the ball away for her first shot of the day. Romero, McCullum, good sweep, also good defense. McCullum across the middle, Cook knocks it down, And we'll get some help from the whistle on a defensive hit. Hicks doing all she can to get it away from Lynchburg's thick. Just delaying the inevitable as Strauss takes over possession. A rush through the middle. Highland has 1 goal tonight, her first as a Hornet, but misses on the running shot. Coach Steele and her coaching staff starting to sprinkle in some newcomers to the contest. More on that in a moment as Romero shoots one and gets by the outstretched leg of Ham. Romero with back-to-back goals. Look at it one more time. Great dribble between the legs of the defender. And then too much speed for Ham to catch up to. Goal number 2 today, goal number 2 of the season. And Lynchburg up by 8 with 4:25 remaining in the third quarter of play. An opportunity to get back to what we were saying earlier about some newcomers to the contest. Lauren Litzinger is in for the first time this season. We're also going to see Sarah Miller-Richards, freshman from Fredericksburg. She plays defense. I don't know how much we'll see of her. I do want to let you know that she's out there. Might see her right now. Taylor Green, pass for Sarah Miller-Richards. She's forced to play defense, though, as that one was intercepted. Myra Mejia had it for a brief moment. And Lynchburg will take over at midfield. Romero's pass, not handled cleanly by McCullum. Good tussle here on the near side. Claire Ashley will get a chance to hit it away. Here's Karen Moyer. Had that really good chance in the second quarter, but was denied by the post. Here's Moyer sprinting through the middle. Great stick skills from Moyer. And sweeps it through the front, and it's going to be a penalty corner. That one briefly got between the legs of Nix, I think. It was really close. And in the end, Bridgewater earning their second corner of the contest. It's a shame we haven't seen this Bridgewater offense enough. The times we have seen it, especially when Moyer is leading the charge, it's pretty efficient. Unfortunately, they only have 3 total shots. Quigley starts things off. Hicks pushes it along, gets it back, and then Rankin with a shot that's stopped by Nix. Rankin has it again. Bounces around a few times. Redmond trying to get on top of it. And we'll keep it in play outside the scoring area now. And a whistle will keep it with Lynchburg. 2 corners, no goals. Defense from Lynchburg was good enough. Skylar Dice touches the ball for the first time. She's also someone who came onto the team after the winter break, getting her first chance to play as a Hornet. And McCullum's shot deflected out of play off of Ham. Brooke Ham with 8 saves tonight, but has seen 9 balls get past her. Litzinger. Deflected around, played up top. Dice inside and kicked away by Ham.
So, Marcus and Colin, you guys are only two cameras, so I'll definitely zoom in.
35 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Lynchburg with 3 goals in these 15 minutes. Still time to add another. Dice gets a little bit more turf than she wanted on that hit. And that looks like it'll do it. Third quarter is over. Still Lynchburg out front, looking and feeling good. They lead at 9-1 as we come back and start the fourth quarter. You're watching ODAC Field Hockey on LHSN. And welcome back to Schellenberger Field. Friday Night Lights here for some ODAC Field Hockey. I'm Joe Hutzler, narrating our journey together. It's been a lot of talking about Lynchburg. And a 9-1 lead to start the fourth quarter. Let's go back and take a view at least one replay. I know we've got one queued up, so let's check it out, boys and girls. And it's Kessa Romero. Did not have a goal last week against Shenandoah. Didn't have a goal in the first half, and promptly in the third quarter picks up goals 1 and 2 of her sophomore campaign. Right now, a quick look at stats shows us that Lynchburg, even in every other category, is feeling good about their chances, about their efficiency. They have 25 shots compared to Bridgewater's 5, 18 shots on goal, 9 saves for Bridgewater's Brooke Ham, 2 saves for Laurel Nix of Lynchburg, 19 penalty corners for the Hornets compared to just 2 for Bridgewater. Alex Boatwright, our new goalkeeper for Lynchburg, making her first appearance of the season. Will stand in for Laurel Nix during the last quarter of play. Her sister Erin having a career day in her second game ever as a Hornet, 2 goals. Martha Chapese is also checking in for the first time. Another family affair there. Martha, the sister of Maggie. Transferred from Shenandoah last season. Did Martha, not Maggie. Look at Bridgewater on the attack. Boatwright slides out, makes the stop. It's loose just outside the goal crease. Still vying for it are the Eagles. And in the end, it's Lynchburg clearing it away. Martha Chapese helping it get outside the scoring area. Dangerous moment. First chance for Alex Boatwright to attack and get some gameplay, get some opponents that aren't wearing the same uniforms that she's wearing in practice coming at her for some chances and making the save. One shot faced, one save. Hard to argue with that. Maggie Chapese dummies the defender and sends it across the end line inside, and in the end it's going to be Bridgewater taking a defensive hit. Litzinger with the takeaway. And that one just outside of Ham's reach. Jones is there. In the end, it's a corner. Rankin was forced to get down on the turf just like Ham was to try and stop that. Promptly with that song playing, there's a dog on the track, and that dog was barking too. Meanwhile, 20th penalty corner here for the Hornets. It's Laro. What a pass, but Litzinger not able to connect on the one-timer attempt.
When I first switched batting system, was it static?
Right off the bat, no. It was clear for like.
Laro looking for goal one of the year. It's in the top shelf corner, 90 degrees. What a way to put your first one on the board in style for Jackie Laro. What a fantastic look at Jackie Laro's first goal of 2021. I mean, we didn't think it would take this long for her to get that goal, but we're glad that she made it count in the best way possible once she found the back of the net. And usually you don't hear net, you hear board. But this time, truly touching the net, and Laro earning her first goal of her senior campaign. It'd be very interesting to see who decides to come back for this team, because if you're watching this, you know how deep this roster is with not just skill, you know, not just pure talent, but with experience, with championships, knowing how to win in big moments, and spread it around too. I mean, you only have two scorers today that have more than one goal. That's Boatwright and Giannis. So you have 8 different goal scorers out of the 10 goals scored to this point for Lynchburg. So a very balanced team, very dangerous team in the conference, but more importantly, as far as their goals are concerned, in the nation. And unfortunately, they won't be able to showcase that here in the spring season because the NCAA decided there will be no fall sports championships, as well as the winter sports championships being canceled. So you have to hope that these ladies get a chance to show what they're made of on another NCAA run in the fall. And some of that may depend on who decides to come back. Of course, you do have to still be enrolled to use that extra year of eligibility that's been given to you. So if graduate school is not in your plans, it could be really tough to decide to make it part of your plans, especially when it comes to money. All of that stuff can still be decided later on. And we're going to do our best to enjoy the moments that we have that are guaranteed in the spring of 2021. The good thing is about being on this turf, being outside, seeing spring and fall teams, their rosters are much bigger than basketball teams, and so COVID doesn't affect everyone, and we're seeing that here this evening with Lynchburg having 3 players out, but still able to field a full team, still have some depth on the bench to help out with substitutions, and are getting the job done tonight. 10-1 with 9:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Hornets making some more changes here late. Kim Sheldon, who now has the ball, just stepped in. Sheldon doing what she can to put down the block tackle. Eventually won by Hicks. First minutes of the year for Sheldon. Bridgewater with a couple good possessions tonight. They're few and far between, but when they have a chance to pressure offensively, they've done a really good job of getting it in deep. This is one of 3 corners coming up here, but when they do have their chances, they're pretty good. I think that's got to be the most frustrating part, is that when we're here, we're making great passes. We're making really good efforts to get the ball towards the net, pressuring the goalie, pressuring the defense, but just not able to turn them into goals, and more importantly, just giving up too many chances on the other end by the opposition. Quigley inputs it. Hicks sends it to Moyer. Hard charge that goes wide, and defensive hit for the Hornets. Faith Seary checks back in for Lynchburg. Good hit. Chapese trying to chase it down. Getting there first was Thompson. And then Laro scoops in and steals it away. Jackie Laro's got some help in the middle. Racing around the outside. Laro swings it to the middle for Jones. Chips it. Ham steps on it. Can't find it. Still loose. And a goal is scored. No, I beg your pardon. A stroke is earned, I believe. I think it's a penalty stroke. Yep, it'll be Jackie Laro taking the penalty stroke, the first penalty stroke of the season for Lynchburg.
Yeah, it's like a PK, so there's one girl there, just like that.
Laro was 2 for 2 on penalty stroke attempts in 2019. One of those coming in the NCAA tournament win against Center. And there's her second goal of the night. Taking care of business from the dot and making it a 10-goal game. We'll show it to you one more time. Take note, you won't see it again the rest of the year. Oh, you're not going to see it at all. Boom. We tricked you. Just like penalty shots in soccer, we don't want to show the opposing teams or fans, coaches, whoever, where players like to shoot in those moments for extra scouting. So that's why we do our best not to show it multiple times. Another change in between the pipes for the Hornets. Kayla Brady, freshman from Millsboro, Delaware, is seeing action for the first time. As Chapese lays out to try and keep that ball in play. Maggie Japese, one of those players that just brings the energy, just always in a good mood, spirits always high, no matter what's going on the field or off the field for that matter. And it's crucial for any team's success. We told you about Brady being out there. Also, Caroline West is out there for Lynchburg. And number 30, Jenna Tangiers.
Yeah, it was like pretty much the same thing.
Great job by Kim Sheldon. Now it's Lynchburg pushing with some newcomers. Caroline West trying to keep it in. Can't toe the line. Sarah McCollum steps back on the field for the Hornets. Looks like she gives Maggie Japese a break. Well deserved with 5:48 to go. See how much longer Taylor Green is out there playing defense. Emma Strauss, also one of the starters, still in play. She chips it ahead for Sheldon to play it along the far sideline. And then sent out by Hicks. Siri plays it back here for Richards. Taylor Green. Running into that was Cook, who has the lone goal for the Eagles. And that one is going to be ushered outside. Fantastic pressure from some of the younger Hornets in play. Sheldon and Jones out there. Talked about Japese, Siri, West. Some names that not used to hearing too often, but with a 10-goal advantage, a chance to get some minutes here at home. Only one way to get better. Has to be put in the game. 4 minutes to go. It's been Lynchburg from the start. They scored 3 goals in the first 2 minutes of this one. Had a 5-1 lead after the first quarter, 6-1 lead after halftime, or into halftime. Able to add 3 more in the third quarter and 2 more here in the fourth. Jackie Laro with both. Once on upper 90, opposite end of the goal finish, and then a penalty stroke, the first one of the season for the Hornets. Japese steps into that, takes it around 2 defenders. You can hear the elation from the starters cheering on the Hornets that are out there now. With under 3 minutes to play, Bridgewater trying to add a few more positive plays to their film study this week. One final broadcast for us this weekend. It will start tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. The Lynchburg Hornet Open. Track and field, their first of 3 hosting gigs this year, the most they've had, well, at least since I've been here. This is my 6th year at the institution. They'll have the meet tomorrow, then the annual Jack M. Toms Invitational later in the spring season, and then they play host to the ODAC Outdoor Track and Field Championships at the end of the spring season. All of those events can be seen here on LHSN. Moyer tripped up by the turf monster and still down. I hope she's okay. Yeah, now she gets up and rushes back. She's a crucial piece to the Bridgewater effort. Not to mention there are no other Eagles to go to. Just 2 coaches and a backup keeper. .60 seconds to go. The Hornets on their way to a 2-0 start overall, and in conference play, Bridgewater will drop to a record of 1-1 in both overall record and conference record. Next time we've got field hockey on the broadcast schedule is this Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, Lynchburg and Washington and Lee, right here from Schellenberger Field. Looking very much forward to that broadcast, hoping that you can tune in then. But if you can't, that's okay. You can always check it out later here on the LHSN YouTube channel. Just subscribe and also click on the bell icon to receive notifications every time a broadcast begins or any video is published. And for the 5th straight time, the Hive has spoken, and Lynchburg takes down Bridgewater, this time by a final score of 11-1.
Your final score, Lynchburg Hornets 11, Bridgewater 1. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your support of Lynchburg field hockey. We wish you safe travels home.
More information on tonight's game can be found at lynchburgsports.com, and also our post-game interview right here on the YouTube channel that you're watching this game on, and in the recap that'll be posted to lynchburgsports.com later tonight. That will do it for us here from Schellenberger Field. A fantastic night for Lynchburg. They win 11-1 and remain unbeaten.